I made so many mistakes with this render, and I think the lesson I learned is that sometimes less is more when you are uh, updating a car, when you're doing a facelift, or even when you're modifying it in real life. And so I think I've cracked the formula on the 6th gen Civic as far as updating it. And the reason why this car is so important to me is that I actually learned how to drive manual in one of the 6th gen Civics. So my mom had a red one, uh, manual transmission, great car, great memories. And so when Kenyover official asked me if I would do a Civic 6 coupe facelift in Electron Blue Pearl, dude, I thought, yeah, absolutely. And then as I started to go down this path, um, I didn't feel like I was getting it right until I did this. So I think I cracked the formula here. We're going to use the headlight design from the 90s S2000, which looks sick when you put it on the front end of the Civic. And you'll see here using a few techniques as far as just flipping components, adding some bezels around to really make this look like it's photorealistic. I think that's the main thing when I do Photoshop art is that I love the photorealistic look. And then the next part is that I played around with a ton of different bumpers. At one point, I had added, I think it's the Sorcerer front bumper kit from the NSX, and it looked kind of cool, but it was just too much. It was just overdone. And then I realized if I just make the existing bumper just a little bit wider, give it a little bit more angle to it, it actually makes for a really nice looking front fascia, which does kind of capture the facelifted look. Now, when it comes to the wheels, I really do like the look of the silver light colored wheels against the blue of the body. And I think I want to keep that look, but I don't want to keep these wheels. I'm going to use some wheels from one of the later generations. And it's interesting, I do want to go with a stock wheel. So we're going to pull the stock Honda wheels off of this Civic Si from the later generation. And you'll see me here, I'm just doing a rough selection of these. And in hindsight, I missed a step when I was doing it here. So if you want to see how to actually do this, like really the right way, the way that I usually do it, I don't know why I skipped this step. You can go watch that tutorial here on the channel as far as swapping out wheels. But for this one, I just did a rough selection, and then you'll see me with just a few tools here, place those new wheels in. I'm going to line them up as best as possible, and actually kind of I'm adjusting the stance here as well. And then I'm just going to actually use the eraser to go in and knock back the parts of the tire that I need to knock back. And so this is really kind of old school. Again, I skipped some of my own steps when I usually do this. Yeah, it happens. But getting these wheels dialed in, and you see pretty quickly that I feel like this is the right choice for a facelifted, more modern look, but still keeping it respecting the period of the Civic, um, because this is such an iconic car, and I think it's so easy to overdo the update of a car like this. So drop a comment below. What is like one of the cars from your childhood that still, when you see it, it just like the emotions and the just the memories kind of flood back, because this is one of those cars where I think I had forgotten about this generation, and I want to thank Kenyover official for like bringing this back to me and letting me remember some of the special times that I had personally with the 6th gen Civic. So now part of the update process is that I really do like these pieces of the one of the more recent Civic Type R kits. Obviously, this isn't the latest generation, but this is the really kind of riced out Civic Type R. But this lip kit is so clean. And I think if there were any things that they did right on that version of the Civic Type R, it was this lip kit. A little bit of red accent on there. I think the red plays really well with that blue. And then, of course, the little fins that go along the side. And then now we got to just tie this whole piece together. And so you'll see here that I'm going to add some shadows. I'm going to actually use generative fill to get a texture for the floor. And so what I'm doing here is I'm actually layering generative fill textures. So I did one that was concrete, one that was a little bit of wet concrete. And then you'll see here, I'm going to use perspective warp to create a reflection. Now, I messed this up the first time I did it. And so when I did this the first time, I had too many areas that I had marked out. When you do a car, I think it actually works better if you just do two perspectives, adjust them, skew them, and then if you knock that back with a layer mask, then it can look really well. I think that front wheel still looks a little bit weird, but with the way I wanted to do the flooring and have it kind of have that wet look, I think it works still. But you guys, let me know in the comments. Obviously, I'm still learning and growing as a digital artist, and so I haven't perfected every single thing in this process. But if I were going to do it on this kind of poster, this is what I would do. Again, just kind of dialing in the details here. You'll hear me say that a lot on this channel, but it really does matter when you get the details right, or if you get the details wrong, it can really throw off a piece. Now, last thing here is I want to add a little bit more texture. So you'll find that the camera raw filter is like amazing when it comes to just making a piece look cohesive, making the colors really pop, giving it some extra depth. And then last thing here with a poster like this, I want to keep it simple, but I want to add a little bit of texture in the background. And so it just kind of came to me, why don't I just mimic the squares that are on the ground from that concrete, do it with some a little bit of gray background with some white shapes on top, a little bit of blur, and then I'm going to use the healing brush here to just get rid of those original reflections that are on the hood of the car from the background of that original image. And there you go. This poster is pretty much done. Can you over official, thanks again for requesting this. If you have a request for a custom poster, or even just for me to make a video, a render of a specific car, drop that in the comments below. And God bless. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.